Welcome to the Coherent Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Jemima House, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the compassion trap and why one of your best qualities as an ethical founder is quite dangerous when used within the pyramid model that pretty much everybody uses. So I'm going to start off with a story of something that actually happened on several occasions, but I just have one in my mind. And then I'm going to lay out the principles behind that story. And then I'm going to invite you to take a look at the Friction Audit so that you can apply this to your own situation. So the trouble with the pyramid is that it's based on roles, job roles, not on mastery, and that is an issue because the lines of communication are vertical, and pretty much everything that comes to a halt lower down because people don't know what to do with it, it gets fed back up the pyramid, and guess who's at the apex? You as the CEO are at the apex. So these, I guess, lines like line manager, line of communication, they become lines of dependency. Because if nobody can solve the problem apart from you, or maybe even one or two others, it becomes a bottleneck. So it becomes a place where everything slows down. Anyway, story time. So this particular instance was one of our best workers. I used to co-run a multi-six-figure company, a bricks and mortar business some years ago. One of our best workers was really struggling with his health in all matters, like physical, mental, everything. So I went outside to speak to him, and bear in mind that he didn't come to tell me this. I picked it up because that's who I am. Because as you probably are, empathetic, a healer of some description, somebody who can tune in to energetically what's going on, which is what I did. So we went outside to talk and ended up speaking in depth for almost an hour. Okay, bear in mind, I am one of two directors, and for that hour, my attention is completely absorbed in this one staff member. So any problems that need my attention are just backing up. They're just there waiting for me when I'm done. And this is a problem. That's a problem with the pyramid framework, because it relies on the people at the top to make decisions about things because only they can. Even when you have a structure put in place and maybe you have like middle management, it still doesn't necessarily work because your values need to be installed throughout the whole company. And whereas somebody might be very, very good at their specific job role, have they necessarily mastered themselves and therefore are a good vehicle to maintain your values, the values of the company? This is, it becomes complex and things get stuck and work piles up, and you as the person at the apex, you as the leader, have more on your plate then you need to have. Because your job as the CEO, especially as an ethical founder, is to hold the vision. You've got to hold the vision so that you can create the positive impact that you were put here to create. And in a pyramid framework, that becomes really, really difficult, if not impossible. So my takeaway from recalling that story is there's absolutely nothing wrong with empathy. It's a beautiful thing. And because you have skills that are more in the human realm or that are definitely needed by your staff members, sometimes your energy can get diverted away from the big vision and building the huge impact for good that you want to build. When you create a circular framework of leadership, this doesn't have to happen because everybody becomes competent in not only their own self-development, but being a good steward of the values of the company. And that means that more people are available to solve issues when they come up in the correct way. And when I say correct, I mean aligned with the company's values and with what you're doing here, what you're creating. So I have so many of those illustrations because it used to happen all the time. And I think that can often be the downfall of someone who is deeply caring and a visionary and is creating something huge. It's easy to get derailed from the greater good because you want to help everybody. I recognize it now as kind of stepping into like a savior role or a rescuer role, which I don't do anymore. And I think that's part of the growth that comes from running businesses. You start to notice your patterns, etc., etc. However, I would be really, really pleased to hear any of your experiences along a similar vein and how you have resolved those or not. And I would invite you to visit the Friction Audit. It will take you 2 minutes and just figure out exactly where is the most pressing challenge within your business right now, just so that you can get that clarity on, okay, what needs dealing with first? And then you can do something about it. Think of it as a reduction in mental labour. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, bit shorter than usual for once. And thank you for listening. I will see you again, same time next week. Bye for now.